Now we're going to head on over to our on-the-spot correspondents, Laura and Matt. They'll be reviewing The King's Man.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Laura.
Today we're reviewing The King's Man.
Here's the trailer.
My flock. This will not be a war of heroes. Nations will slaughter each other while we get rich. This is going to be fun.
You cannot keep me locked away as the world burns.
Son, the truth is the world is ruled by corruption and greed.
We must do something.
Certainly.
We are the first independent intelligence agency. Refined but brutal. Civilized but merciless.
Welcome to the club.
Very clever.
It's time to pour fuel on the fire of revolution.
Yes, my shepherd. Welcome, Englishman.
Rasputin, your reputation precedes you.
Let's end this as gentlemen. After all, manners maketh man.
Why is it that boys are always so messy?
All right, Matt, what were your first thoughts about this movie?
Well, I'll start by saying I kind of went in with pretty low expectations. I had seen the first King's Man movie and I saw the name and I was like, the first movie was a whole lot of fun, so I said why not. And you know, it was entertaining. I will say that, but other than that, I really didn't remember many of the characters or the plot or really anything like that. It was just sort of one of those movies that you watch for just like an enjoyable time where you're not really feeling too emotionally attached to anyone or anything. What did you think?
Yeah, I'm glad you had a good time because I did not watching this movie. I wanted to. I'm not gonna lie, this movie frustrated me beyond anything else. I'd seen the first two. First movie I loved, so much fun, great action comedy. Second one, less so. And so the third one, I was like, maybe, it's a second show slump. They'll redeem themselves for the third movie. And I was disappointed. I found the characters annoying. I thought the plot was so just convenient. The only thing I will say, some of the fight scenes were really fun. Yeah. But by the end of it, I was just like, can somebody either die or win already? Because I feel like I'm seeing the same thing 10 times over.
Yeah. I feel like, to me, when I was watching it, it felt like it was going by both so fast and also also just so slow at the same time. Like, all the fight sequences were pretty cool. It felt like a lot was happening at the same time. But at the same time, it was just like, it felt so dragged out. I will say, the fight scenes were cool, but when you watch the other Kingsman movies, I think you come to expect that when you walk into one of those movies, and I think based off my expectation of at least having a few fight scenes, it sort of lacked in that as opposed to the other movies.
Right. Where I feel like a lot of this movie was missing was the characters. Starting right off the bat, the second the mother was introduced, I looked at her, she said one line, I said, that's the deadest mother I've ever seen. She's about to die. She's like, don't go to war, be peaceful. I'm like, she is about to die. And of course she dies about 3 minutes later. And the son, his only motivation is constantly wanting to go to war, wanting to fight, really having no concept. And it does have, I'll give it credit that it tries to make note on privilege and how, like, English people have gone and colonized and done all these horrible things, and so you shouldn't be a violent person, you should be doing good. But, I mean, I was following the son through this whole movie, thinking he's going to be the main character. He's, disappears, I'll say, partway through and doesn't become a main character anymore, and then it shifts to the dad. But I didn't feel connected to any of them, and I didn't feel like any of them were very smart and didn't have any clear goals that drove the story.
Yeah, one of the main things for me that is an indicator for whether I enjoyed a movie or not is if I remember a lot of the characters' names and felt like an emotional connection or a personal connection to them. If I have something in common with them or just feel bad for them if something happens throughout the movie. I do not remember a single character's name in this movie. I remember a lot of the names from the other movies, but this one, I just, nothing stood out to me. It felt like a war movie with, a little bit more stylized violence and a lot of cool accents.
Right. And, I don't know, the big thing that got me was just the plot. I don't know your feelings about it. I thought everything just kept falling into their laps. It didn't really take a lot of figuring it out to drive the plot forward, and the hero of the movie turns out to be a goat that pops out of nowhere. It was a goat ex machina there. Really kind of just disappointing in terms of the storytelling, in my opinion. Yeah,
very anticlimactic ending. And I know I keep referring back to the other Kingsman movies, but a lot of the fight sequences there, it just this version really just did not do it for me.
Right. So, what would you give this movie out of 10? And would you recommend it to anybody?
I would give it a 4 or 5 out of 10. I think if you're looking for something that's just something to watch in the background, or if you're looking to have, if you're a history buff and you like some cool takes on what could have happened in history, you would definitely enjoy it. But other than that, I would say maybe stay away from it.
Yeah, this movie got a 4, I'd say, from me. If you're looking for something that you don't have to pay any attention to and don't put any thought into and just want to see a couple cool fight sequences, watch them and then fast forward through the rest.
Yeah, you can find them on YouTube probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right. That's all for our review of The King's Man, and we'll send it back to the studio.
That's all for this week. If you want to follow more Review Crew content, go to the Review Crew Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, as well as Orange TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and YouTube.
Find the Review Q's podcast on Spotify or on our website at orangetvnetwork.syr.edu, where you can also find our blog and more OTN or information.
Check out this week's screening, hosted by University Union, Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. Also, be sure to check out Friday Night Movie Night on OTN. This week's movies are Cyrano de Bergerac, Royal Wedding, and Superman 3, 4, and 5.
See you next week.